Good morning, everyone. Thought I'd do a roundup video to close out the year. Um, we're in Southwest Ohio, so we were on the path of the Hurricane Helene that came through. Obviously, we didn't get it as bad as other people did. Prayers out to all those affected by it. But we had high winds, lots of rain. It's been raining for days. Finally came to an end. Just want to show you the Vinca vine. Stuff's really getting out of control. That stuff will live through the winter. Your landscaping will be taken over by it. Pumpkin. The mini pumpkin volunteer plant has died. Got, I think, about 6 or 7 of them off of there, so that wasn't bad for something I didn't plant or maintain or anything else. Also haven't had lamb's ear in probably almost 10 years, but it just keeps coming back no matter how much we pull it out. So don't ever plant that either. The weeds are coming back in the yard really fast. This was brown before the hurricane came through, but these weeds are resilient. And this little tomato plant didn't really do anything. Got a couple of them on there. They're the purple bumblebee. The eggplants did not do much. Kind of letting this one go to seed. It's already beyond the eating point, so I think I'm just going to let that go to seed and then save them, plant them next year. No idea what all these little seedlings are. Good Lord, they're all over the place. I put some landscaping fabric down in here. It's probably just this grass that I let grow, going to seed. This pepper plant, this volunteer one, finally has something on it, I see. Looks like it's part ancho, poblano, whatever. But that's the biggest one I have, and really the only one, so I won't get anything off there. Bell peppers did okay. I probably got 15 of them off this year. Still a few more stragglers, but they all have issues. So I don't know if I'll get anything else. Anything grown now, it's just not going to be warm enough the rest of the year. I don't even know. This is interesting. I did not plant this. Huh. I guess that was a volunteer plant that I thought was a bell pepper. Okay. The other purple bumblebees didn't do a whole lot either. I got a few of them off. Some more on there, but like I said, it's cool now. We're rarely going to hit the 80s from here on out, so I don't know that. There could be a warm up here and there, but probably not enough to get anything else. This volunteer tomato plant didn't do anything either. It didn't pop up until probably the end of July, so didn't have a whole lot of time. Raspberry plants did great this year, but I didn't come out and pick them, so what was the point? I mean, you can see them all, just let them all rot on there, so I don't know, need to clean this up again and do it again next year. I did move my asparagus from over here, so this will no longer be a gardening area. This will just be for my firewood. God only knows what kind of wildlife is living in there. I know there's been mice before, there's been rabbits living up under these bushes. That's alright. They gotta live somewhere, right? This part's starting to come to an end. The green onions will keep growing throughout the rest of the year, so we'll eat off of that all winter long. I did plant some radishes. Some came up. I said we were in a drought before this hurricane came through, so a lot of them are just now starting to come up. A few of them look like they could be ready to eat, and the weeds are rebounding. Okay, I did not know that I planted a red habanero, but clearly I did. And I did make a batch of hot sauce with these, and I had a kick to it. So I might be able to make another batch with what I have left. I also have peach ones. Yeah, I thought I planted straight up orange ones. Don't know how I ended up with all these. This eggplant didn't do anything but feed the flea beetles. Beets are still growing. I don't plan on eating them, but I'm surprised they don't ever go to seed. I'll have to look up how long it takes for them to go to flower. Maybe I'll leave them over winter and they'll come up seed next year. Got another eggplant that's too far gone to eat, so try to get the seeds off of that. The yellow squash is finally done for. This is one of my most prolific plants. So many of them will come off of this thing. That one's beyond eating stage. Somewhere amongst these weeds is where I moved the asparagus to, so I'll clean this up and hopefully the crowns that I buried will come up next spring. Let's see, I got basil still growing. It's gone to flower. I'd imagine it's still good. I'm not even. It smells like basil. And finally, one of my orange habanero plants grew. You guessed it, orange habaneros. Imagine that. So, like I said, I got plenty to make another batch of hot sauce. Okay, these pumpkins are gone. The beans are gone. I never did rip them out. And they have turned black. That's not a good sign. The tomatoes through here weren't very productive. Kind of disappointing, but there they are. I did try to plant some bok choy back here, figuring we could survive the cold weather coming up, but doesn't look like any of it survived. And another red habanero plant. Not a whole lot going on with it. Okay, so my volunteer tomato plant. Yeah, looks like it has some in there. Looks like the rain caused them to split. Now we got a ton of rain the last few days. I did unfortunately let my vines go to seed, my weed. So those will be back next year. Got plenty of cucamelons. You can see them all growing. It's a very hardy plant. Did have this blown down. And there's the flowers to the vine, weed vine. Cucumber beetle in it. Nasty things. This cherry tomato did good, but I haven't picked anything and it's been a while. And look, I got some tomatoes growing down here. It's crazy. And look at all these seeds for the vine. That is really bad. Someday I'll come out and clean this up. I did plant some parsley down here, but I don't see any. I don't think that's parsley. I know that's a weed. So we'll let these go and see if it's parsley, but I don't think it is. And my pumpkin plant done very well this year. It is a volunteer, so it is a pumpkin mixed with something else. I have no idea what, but kind of letting them go so that they'll survive until Halloween. And we got new ones coming on. There, got one there. I got a bigger one back there. I got some orange ones. I know I got more orange ones. That's not the the only one. I don't know. There's a bunch. It's actually been more in the last few weeks than there was when the plant first started. So I might come out and harvest those. The white eggplant, you know, it did decent for where it was growing. I don't know if there's any more growing. Yeah, there's some back there. So if I maintained this plant, I'd get a ton of this white eggplant, but I didn't. I decided to let the pumpkin go instead. The jalapeno plant was weird this year. It didn't put any jalapenos on for months. It got nice and tall. Now it's starting to put some on. But the growing season's pretty much over, so that was disappointing. So I need to find a new variety of that. Get some more eggplant. Like I say, if you can get the eggplant to survive these flea beetles when they're young, because they just do so much damage. You can see a couple there. You can just see flea beetles everywhere. Eggplant grows really well in this area, and you'll get a ton of them. Did throw a bunch of cilantro seeds down here, and it looks like I got a total of 0 of those. Some of these might be cilantro. Yep, that's cilantro. So I guess that's finally starting to come up. Pokeweed did its thing this year. If these berries were edible, man, would they be a nice one to grow. They're only edible for the birds. Hopefully the birds have been feasting on it, especially during the drought. Hopefully they got some water out of it. Really hacked down the maple tree this year. And actually it doesn't look that great. I don't know if it's because of the drought plus my hacking it down, but if it dies, it dies. You see the trunk. It's coming back. I mean, it'll just keep growing, but I don't ever plan on letting it getting any bigger than that. You see all the branches there that I cut down on it. Okay, the composting area. So I threw tons and tons of vegetables and fruits in here. I don't know if you can see those things. Look at all them. There used to be a lot more. I don't even know what they are. I mean, I thought they were like black fly larvae, but they don't turn into anything. But man, let me just look at them go. Like, I don't even know if I'm getting any compost out of this, because I throw stuff in there and it's just gone. Pokeweed everywhere. Nothing going on over here. I got some kind of bug this year that totally decimated my kale. There's actually even one of the worms right there, but that's not what was doing it. It's almost like a Japanese beetle potato bug mix. It was really doing the damage. Okay. At the pineapple. Still going. Yeah, no pineapple down there, but next year I'll put this in the ground and see what happens. Yes, and in this area, apparently the bees found something they like. Good Lord. I'm trying to think of what's there. Looks like I poured something out. I don't even remember what. The bees like it. Okay. So there's arugula. I got lots of arugula. Hopefully that's not a nest and I'm about to get stung messing with it. But anyway, I think I'll just stay out here, show you what's going on in there. The arugula, I showed you that. I believe there was supposed to be spinach here, and I thought this was spinach, but clearly it's not. So, I guess the spinach was a bust. I also had lettuce back here, which was a bust. Never came up. Yellow tomatoes were extremely productive. But I got tired of them and stopped picking them. There's another one of my orange pumpkins down there. Not sure if you can see it. Okay, oops, sorry about that. Paste tomatoes were a success this year, but they're all dead. We got 41 32-ounce jars canned with crushed tomatoes and one 16-ounce. Over here, he's still putting on, but this plant's done for. I need to come out and pick out what I can, see if any of these are edible. They don't really look like it. I do think there's a few over here I could salvage. I don't know if the rain hurt them, but I do have some beefsteaks that I'm hoping will survive. But they're not looking great either. So, here's the last couple things. This cherry tomato plant did great. It was a volunteer, and if I ate them, I would have had an endless supply of them. But it produced a really nice tomato. Super nice. And finally, the last thing. My oregano and my rosemary. Don't know what I'll do with it, but there it is. I should figure something out, how to dry it or at least cook something with it. There's another one of my pumpkins I grew. I picked this about 3 or 4 weeks ago and it's still kicking, so maybe I can pick the other ones and they'll make it to Halloween. And here is a bucket that was completely empty before the hurricane came through, and I don't know, I guess there's maybe 5 inches in there. 5 inches of rain. So anyway, I just thought I'd do one last wrap-up video for the year. Thanks to everybody who watched, commented, subscribed, whatever, this year on my channel. Like I said, I'll go back and not only do I like sharing it with people, I do like to go back and see what I did, what worked, what didn't work, and then try to learn from it. So this is crazy. Anywho, appreciate everybody this year. Hope everybody's doing great and has a great off season, and I'll see everyone next year.